When you take a moment to actually think about it, simulation games are actually quite interesting. You wake up and go work your 9 to 5, just to come back home and work another 9 to 5. Except this time you're doing something you actually enjoy. And simulation games come in a variety of different genres, like fishing, hunting, running your own restaurant, mega mall, and apparently even hot springs. It's Hot Spring Story for Nintendo Switch. Released on October 11, 2018 for the Nintendo Switch, Hot Spring Story hit the virtual shelves. Hot Spring Story is a simulation game where you own and manage your very own Japanese onsen, and your main goal is to make it the best hot springs possible. How do you do that exactly? Well, about that. When starting the game, they give you a brief explanation of how things work, but honestly, making this hot spring successful is up to you. And let me tell you, it's not easy. For starters, you don't start out with a lot of money, and your onsen has next to nothing inside of it. To gain profit, you're going to have to spend what you have and build more rooms and hot springs. The problem is you can't spend too much money because of monthly expenses, and you have to be careful where you place rooms because if there are too many rooms together, or if it's next to a restaurant, or literally anything else, people won't stay in those rooms, and that's money that got completely wasted. There's a lot of things you have to carefully think about if you really want to make this business successful. But when you're managing your hot springs, you never really find yourself getting stressed. Sure, there are some annoying moments when people don't want to rent a room because they don't want to hear Jimmy snoring next door, but it's actually a really enjoyable game. You start feeling very accomplished when you see your onsen slowly turning into a success. The one thing that might turn people away from this game is the waiting. There's two kinds of waiting. Waiting for money so you can build more amenities, and simply waiting and observing all your work because there's literally nothing more you can do. After playing Hot Spring Story for quite a while, there will come a point when you've done everything you can do. There are always investment opportunities and contests to enter, but after maxing out the property you can build on making the hot springs a success, there's not really a whole lot more you can do. It's still a fun game to boot up every now and then to see how the business is doing, but after playing for a little while, you're pretty much done all you can do in the game. If you've been looking for a fun, lighthearted, and unique simulation game for the Nintendo Switch, then this is definitely the game for you. It's Hot Spring Story for Nintendo Switch.